Hi everyone, welcome back to The Young Grower. So in this video we're going to be planting our potatoes in some 30-litre buckets. I only grow potatoes in buckets, I do not grow them in the ground. It's too much hard work. Doing this way is simple and easy, and you get an abundance of potatoes that are easy to harvest. It is a very windy day, so I'm hoping the quality of the sound is good and yeah, it's not going to interfere too much. So these are all the buckets that I'm going to be using. I've actually numbered them this year. So we have 12 buckets. I bought some waterproof numbers off of Amazon. I thought that's going to be a lot easier than trying to label them or do the tape like I did last year. So let's show you the varieties that I'm going to be growing this year. So all the varieties I'm growing this year are all coloured potatoes. I've decided to do less than I normally do and only grow potatoes that I cannot buy in the shop. I've teamed up with Potato House for these. They sent me them to grow. I grew them last year with great results, so yeah, let's do this again. And they still have quite a lot of stock left, so if you're interested in growing some of these, you still can. So we have Violetta, what is an early main crop. We have Salad Blue, that is a second early. And then we have Highland Burgundy Red, that is a main crop. And then the last variety is Red Emerald, and that is a early main crop. So what I'm going to do is plant 2 seed potatoes per each bucket. I've already put some compost at the bottom. This is actually spent compost from potatoes last season, and I've just filled it up to about 10 centimeters from the bottom. And I'm going to put a sprinkle of bloodfish and bone in each bucket where I plant the potatoes. I actually bought this bloodfish and bone online. It was £20 for 20 kilograms, and I bought this 3 years ago, and still got enough for this season. Was perfect. It's better than buying it in little boxes in the shop that cost a fortune. So there's 3 different types of potatoes you can grow. You have first earlies that take 10 to 12 weeks before you can harvest them. You have second earlies that take around 14 to 16 weeks before you can harvest them from planting. Then you have a main crop variety that takes around 16 to 22 weeks before you can harvest. What I like to do is count the weeks when I planted them, going by what varieties I've done, and also when the leaves start to die back. Once the leaves have died back, normally it's time to harvest, but later in the season we'll talk about that when it is time to harvest them. But for now, let's focus on getting them planted and showing you how I do it. So that is all the bloodfish and bone done. Now we are on to actually putting the potatoes into the buckets. So let's start with this lot. So the first lot we're going to be planting is the Red Emerald. So I'm not going to spend ages showing you how to plant every single bucket up. So what I'm going to do is get this bucket planted up and show you how I do it, and then I will get on with the rest. There's no point me boring you and showing you every single bucket being planted, yeah, because I do them exactly the same. So what we'll do is we get 2 seed potatoes and we just push them in. I like to have it so the chits are pointing up. There we go, push them down as far as you can, and then like that. Then what we're going to do is top the bucket right up, at least that way throughout the season you have not got to earth up the potatoes. It is already done. As in the past when I've done this and I had to earth up the potatoes, it's been so much work, especially on my back. So this way is a lot simpler and a lot easier. So now what we're going to do is fill the buckets up right to the top. I'm also using the compost I got delivered from Southwest Composting to top these buckets up. We don't want to fill them up too much. We want to allow room at the top so when you water it doesn't just overflow. And there we go. So now I'm going to get on with the rest of the varieties. So that is all the potatoes planted. We have done 3 buckets of each variety with 2 seed potatoes per bucket, with a good sprinkle of bloodfish and bone. And as you can see, they're not topped up fully as I've just ran out of compost, but it's fine for now. I've got more compost coming from Southwest Composting on Wednesday, so I'll top them up. But there's one last thing I like to do for my potatoes, and that is to give them some extra feed. And I have a bag here of well rotted horse manure that I collected last year, and as you can see, yeah, it's amazing stuff. So I'm just going to put some of that on top of each bucket. And then eventually we will put some more compost on and that will finish it off, but I'll do that on Wednesday, as like I said, I have run out of compost. What I'm going to do is put my hand in Get a lovely sprinkle of this stuff. And just give a nice layer evenly around. Just like that. And now I'm going to do the rest of them. And there we go. I put a layer of well-rotted manure on every single bucket. And then when the new compost comes on Wednesday, I'm just going to finish it off with a nice little layer. And then leave them and just water and feed them later in the season. We water them regularly now so they don't dry out. We do not want the buckets to dry out, because when buckets dry out, I believe potatoes go more scabby. They have for me in the past, so try and keep them well watered, but not to the point where they're going to rot. So now that these are all planted, there's not much else for me to say and do today, but throughout the season I will do some mini videos showing you what I'm going to be doing feeding wise and how I will be harvesting them. Yeah, so if you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it, and give the video a like, and also leave a comment if you're enjoying this video and you want to see more content like this. Later in the season we'll do another video showing you how I feed them, and then we'll do a video about harvesting. So I'm hoping this mic has done the job and you can all hear me perfect. The wind is horrendous, so yeah, this video could be rubbish and I end up with nothing, but yeah, I hope this just shows you how easy and simple it is to get potatoes growing. You do not have to grow them in the ground, you can grow them in buckets. It's much easier if you're elderly, disabled, or just don't want to grow in the ground. Get some buckets, get some planted. Yeah, you won't regret it. We'll be doing a video in the next month about this allotment plot. The building has finished. We have the new arch beside me. We have the new Brassica tunnel. Yeah, there's a lot to show you what we will get around to doing. And if you're interested in growing some of these cool varieties I am, head over to Potato House and see what they've got on their website. They have an amazing range of organic potatoes that, yeah, you do not see in the supermarket and you did not realise existed. I didn't, until I started growing these. We have Simba. He's the allotment cat that's paid a visit. I say the allotment cat, he lives opposite the road. But he's been doing his job recently. I've saw him catch about 4 or 5 rats. What's a result? Organic pest killer. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Thank you for watching, and we'll see each other soon.